Well, good morning. We're driving out of our Rio Grande River boondocks spot. And yeah, you may have seen the video already from this morning from the drone. It was a little early, so maybe the river wasn't lit up as much as it could have been, but I think it turned out pretty well. Didn't do a lot, but get the idea. So we're heading into Truth or Consequences. We're going to get breakfast, and then we're going to get a soak. Hopefully it'll help my back a little. My back has not gotten a lot better. So this is what, the fourth or fifth day now?
Yeah.
And, you know, you kind of expect it to get better. It is kind of interesting out here. So we think there's a couple people living here, and right over here to the right now. This thing looks like it's been here a while. Oh boy, big dog. Is that a dog?
Oh. It's a sheep. It's two sheep.
That is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. He had two sheep on leashes. I don't know. Maybe he's a polygamist.
That's better. That's better than the guy that walks the pot-bellied pig in our neighborhood.
I don't know about that. And then there's another guy back over here to the left.
He looks pretty well entrenched.
Yeah. I mean, there's he's got a trailer out here with a refrigerator on it, a bunch of other stuff, and he's back in the side. And like I said last night, it looks almost like he has a little river shack built out onto the water too. So anyway,
It's kind of the best spot along here too, because there's a bend on the river.
yeah, it's right there. But you know, where we were, it was great. I mean, you know, we didn't have any traffic. This place has actually been really good as far as, I think the spots at the corner have been full, but other than that, we haven't found anything. Anyway, so we do have a place we're going after the soak, and then we're gonna have to talk about what we do next. So, all right, see you guys in a little bit. All right. Well, we got our breakfast and our soak in the hot springs there in Truth or Consequences. And now we're down the way out of Radium Springs, New Mexico, at the ruins of Fort Selden. So I don't know what all we're going to have here, but I guess we'll find out. So I did notice this sculpture. It's right here, very close to the door. I kind of like it. It's pretty cool. And then out there, they have an old, whoops, I went a little too high, didn't I? Yeah, I don't even know how well you can see it. Anyway, they have an old wooden cart out there. And some plastic oxen. All right. Okay, so we're inside here. Looks like they have some photographs. Local people. So there's a whole bunch of stuff to read here. Basically, though, this area has been occupied for a long time, obviously from the Mogollon people. And in 1865, so I just kind of look around in here. In 1865, the fort was founded, and I believe it only lasted, was it 1875 or 1895? As soon as the hostilities with the natives were over. That's an interesting saddle. It's a Sia Mexicano replica. Santa Fe Trail saddle replica.
Yeah, if you don't mind doing that.
These are always crazy to me, the helmets. Yeah, well, sort of the old I guess that's not a pith helmet, but maybe it is. The MacArthur family. Douglas, Arthur, and Mary. Arthur MacArthur? Is that Douglas MacArthur? Well, not the most elaborate of models, but in the center was the corrals. The first long line here would have been some of the store type things. Troop barracks on the left. Let's see, kitchen and mess there at the top. Now, they're not really saying what that is way up there. Maybe the commandant's, because this is the officers' quarters in the middle here. And I think this might be the guardhouse. Maybe the jail. Not really sure. Prison. It's very difficult to know. All right, we're going to go out and check out the fort. You got to love the sign coming right out of the visitor center there. And we are in the Chihuahuan Desert. So we have the creosote and acacia and mesquite. Now I'm going to go over here because it looks like they're making Adobe bricks. Yeah, it looks like they're building Adobe bricks. Oh, it's a make your own Adobe brick. So put the bowl mold in the bowl of water here. Well, I guess we could do it if we wanted.
They had little pieces that you could help yourself to on the way out of the museum. Little squares.
Mix dirt, small amount of water to make mud, like bread dough. Scrape off the excess and gently lift the mold. So it shows the guy in there doing it. And then we have all these Adobe bricks here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. So I can see out there the ruins, sort of like Fort Churchill. And actually, now that I think about it, also like, what was it? Fort, what was the name of that one? It'll come to me. All right, so close-up of what I would call the old ox cart. And of course, the Conestoga wagon or prairie schooner. And some kind of a carriage wagon for products. Not really a buckboard. Yeah, most of these forts out here had a large contingent of buffalo soldiers, and I'm not really sure what the deal was. Now remember, we talked about the Black Seminole or African Seminole Scouts as well. Yeah. Feel free to read those. I hope you paused it if you did want to. This is part of the original route of the El Camino Real, and use of the road was pretty well diminished by the time the fort was built, but there were still people using it, and so the fort helped protect those people as they traveled along. And Carol was saying that whoever the model was for this statue died just months before it was unveiled. Of meningitis? Yeah, meningitis. Yeah, for the buffalo soldiers. Okay, so we have some ruins over there, but we'll go ahead and go this way. Okay, we have another of the prairie schooners.
Goodness, there was like no room in there. Can you imagine households had their entire...
I've said exactly the same thing.
whole
Carol got a little parasol for out here. They had them by the door because it's freaking hot out here, especially in the summer. It's not too bad right now. All right. Well, so got these ruins all around. They don't want you going in them, but it's kind of cool. We'll walk around and see if there's anything like of major interest here. This area here, according to, I believe what I read inside, would be like more of the shops, like supplies and things like that. And then when we get over here, I believe that was the enlisted man's barracks over that way. But we do have a sign here. Okay, so they're calling these the remnants of the prison foundation, but that little brochure talks about it being the cells, and that the courthouse was up on top. And so it'd be, you know, for your variety of normal things that would happen with a bunch of young guys. So apparently there were 2 cells, I was going to guess, in here. Interesting though, this is a rock, and look how thick it is. I mean, that's 3 feet anyway.
Did you note inside where it said that at this fort, more of the soldiers were killed by each other and the local townspeople than in any kind of battles?
Very interesting. Hopefully you heard that.
Rot gut whiskey and fights.
Okay, so here's 4 is the Sally Port. So the Sally Port would have been the main entrance to the fort. So this would have been it. So I'm not really sure. Then I guess somehow maybe this was connected, or this maybe is the Sally Port here. Yeah, I don't know. Because it looks like there's foundations here. Very hard to tell. Right, let's see, go back inside. All right, so this would have been the non-commissioned officers' quarters. And I think it's interesting about that is that, you know, the regular troops' quarters are down here. In just about every fort we've been in, we've seen the sergeant's room at the end of the barracks for the regular troops. Say not to go inside these, but it looked like people would walk through. Huh. Interesting. I don't think I was supposed to walk through here.
Huh?
I'm not sure I was supposed to walk.
Say, please do not walk inside the ruins on the sign.
Did it?
It's in real small letters.
Whoops. It did say, please do not walk inside the ruins, but hey.
But this one doesn't say that.
Well, I guess you're not really inside the ruins here. Yeah, so the sergeants could come through here into the main barracks. Okay, so the photograph of from 1886. And as you can see, looks a lot like it was taken pretty much right where we're at. Okay. It almost seems like the effort that they're putting to put these plates to hold the walls up, that they could just redo the walls. Had all those Adobe bricks out there. And this, we're coming up to the bakery here. This was the Fort's Bakery. We've been to other ones where, sorry, swatting gnats are awful here. We've been to other ones where we've seen the ovens, but not here. Okay, and here we've come to the post hospital. Okay, you can stop and read this if you'd like. For our Spanish-speaking viewers. All right. So yeah, so the Rio Grande River is just out there. Of course, that would be a good reason for the El Camino Real coming along this way. It'd be a good reason why the Mogollon people were here. So yeah, I think I showed you this picture inside, but of the hospital. I don't know if it doesn't say what year this was. I do like this flagpole and mast thing that they have here. And I assume that isn't original, but probably very similar, as it's two very long logs lashed together in the center. So they show the flag mast here, and then it says officer servants quarters. So I don't know what they're referring to there. Doesn't seem to be anything. Might be out that way, because there's no, this way there's those big mountains out there that would have been in the photograph. Yeah, it's kind of flat that way. I don't know. Maybe this way. Kind of drops off and it's very green out here, so I'm wondering if the river isn't too far down that way. Can you believe it? I have a brochure. When did that ever happen, huh? But there are gnats here, and I mean, they are like trying to fly in my nose, in my eyes. I'm not sure if they're biting or not, because I'm feeling some weird stuff, but I don't know. All right, what do we have here? This is number 12 here, is the Post Commandant and Families Quarter. So from the schematic, I thought his place was maybe out that way, outside the camp a ways. And then officers' quarters over here. Can't really get a very good sense of how they were laid out. I think I'll link it below, because I think it was interesting. We didn't cover every building there, but you can see a little bit more of the Adobe ruins than here. This one is obviously in a lot worse shape than, now drawing a blank on that one. Fort Churchill was the one in Nevada, and they still had the two-story. Well, Fort Davis did too. You know, we did Fort Davis, well, we've done Fort Davis twice now. I don't know how much we did in last month, but should be not too many videos ago. But no, not a lot of things to see here, but it's still okay. $5 admission. It's always fun to see the history of this stuff, and take a look here. We can see the parade grounds, get a sense of the historical nature of these places. That probably does it for Fort Selden. There is a path not far from here supposed to go up to a slot canyon, but there's no way with my back the way it is we're even going to go look and see what it looks like. But I've heard it's not particularly easy, not terribly hard, but not particularly easy. The other place that I had thought we might go today is not open today, so we're gonna probably regroup in the car. We kind of know where we want to go camp. We may head up that way and see if we see something. And if you see things moving across the edges of the frame, it's these infernal gnats. They're walking all over the lens while we're talking.
And they love it in the shade, so
yeah,
it's a toss-up whether or not the parasol's any good.
Yeah, all right. So, we'll see you somewhere. Okay. Well, we did make it to camp. We're here where we were exactly almost a month ago, I guess, at Aguirre Springs Recreation Area and Campground. So it is a beautiful campground here, and it's actually going to be our last night for this trip. With my back the way it's been and stuff, it just, we can't do much, and there's not a whole lot left in this particular area. We missed a few things along the way, but boy, we had a great trip. This is April of 2024. We've been recording here for about 18 days, I guess. And yeah, it's just been one of the most gorgeous trips. Vermilion Cliffs, the Marble Canyon, Lee's Ferry, around Kanab, House Rock Road, things that were along that, Gold Butte, just an amazing trip. So anyway, hopefully I'll get something resolved with this back issue. We're supposed to take a trip in about a month and a half from now with our granddaughter, and I don't know, I have to see what I can do about this back, because it's not fun. So anyway, maybe I'll have a report on that the next time. In any case, thanks for watching as always. And yeah, we'll see you wherever the next trip takes us. All right.